Q&A Review, print speaking to the blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @Q&A Review. That is @CUEANDREVIEW. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@QNreview.com. That is INFORMATION@CUEANDREVIEW.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
The Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald this week, Wednesday the 22nd of November. The podcast has been read to you by Corey, Hunter and Ian. Victims £800 compensation. Report by Connor Gordon. A Twicker thug who punched and fractured a man's eye socket amid a dispute over skipping a toilet queue has been ordered to pay him £800 in compensation. Brandon Manners, 25, pounced on Archibald Sherlock at Glasgow City Centre's The Social on February the 4th, 2023. Manners hit Mr Sherlock once on the head from behind after both men left the bathroom area of the bar. The pair had earlier argued about jumping ahead in the line for the bathroom. Manners pled guilty at Glasgow Sheriff Court to assaulting Mr Sherlock to severe injury and impairment. Sheriff Shona Gilroy ordered Manners to do 90 hours of unpaid work on top of the compensation at today/yesterday's sentencing. The court heard that Mr Sherlock was at the bar with his son who waited outside for him. Manners, of Twicker, and another man entered the toilet meantime. Prosecutor Jeremy O'Neill said, while in the toilet, Mr Sherlock entered a disagreement with the men over skipping the queue. Mr Sherlock left the toilet and was followed by Manners. Mr Sherlock made his way through the dance floor when he was punched from behind to the head, which caused him to fall to the ground. Manners was ushered away from the bar while Mr Sherlock was taken into the kitchen area for first aid. The victim, who had pain on the side of his face and a bloody nose, did not recall what happened at the time. Manners handed himself into police 2 months after the incident. Mr O'Neill said, doctors assessed Mr Sherlock to have 3 fractures to his right eye socket. It was reported that Mr Sherlock's eye has moved position, which will take some time to heal. Kevin Corr, defending, told the court, it was always my client's position that although he can't recall what happened as he was intoxicated, he was in the wrong. Anyone with any information on any crime should call police on 101. Information can also be given anonymously to Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. And that report was by Connor Gordon and read to you today by me, Ian. This week in history. November 23rd, 1963. The first episode of the BBC TV serial Doctor Who was screened in Britain. The Doctor was played by William Hartnell. November 24th, 1864. Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec, French painter famous for his scene of Paris lowlife, was born in Albi, southern France. On this day last year, Cliff Richard was on BBC Radio 2 to play his new Christmas single, Heart of Christmas. November 25th, 1984. Britain's top rock stars, responding to a call by Bob Geldof, gathered together under the name Band-Aid to record Do They Know It's Christmas in aid of the Ethiopian famine appeal. On this day last year, fans in Qatar were left frustrated but hopeful after England laboured to a 0-0 draw with the United States in their second World Cup 2022 game. November 26, 1983, Gold bars worth £25 million were stolen from the Brinks Mat security warehouse at Heathrow Airport. On this day last year, an independent cultural review of the London Fire Brigade exposed incidents of racism, misogyny, bullying and prejudice. November 27th, 1944. Between 3,500 and 4,000 tonnes of high explosives went off in a cavern beneath Staffordshire, killing 68 people and wiping out an entire farm. Dickens on doorstep. There's nothing in the world so irresistibly contagious as laughter and good humour. So said Charles Dickens in his beloved festive story, A Christmas Carol. Now you can share the laughter, enjoy the drama, and experience the feel-good factor of a top-notch performance of Dickens' famous tale, complete with original music. If that's not enticing enough, it's all happening in the heart of East Dunbartonshire, and there are still tickets remaining. And did we mention the expansive on-site free parking? A Christmas Carol, a radio play on stage, is coming to Kilmardinny House, courtesy of No Nonsense Productions, who were behind the sellout performance of Parahandy at Kirkintilloch Town Hall in 2019. The show is an adaptation of the festive favourite, and Bearsden's striking Georgian venue, Kilmardinny House, will host a matinee and an evening performance on Saturday, December the 16th. Commenting on the show, Chairman of the Culture and Leisure Trust, Councillor Jim Gibbons, said, "We are delighted theatre fans here can enjoy a high calibre Christmas show on their doorstep without having to travel into the city centre. Tickets represent a great value Christmas night out, and I would encourage anyone who is interested to book their tickets for A Christmas Carol, a radio play on stage, before tickets sell out. This performance is the first programmed by EDLC Cultural Services since the COVID-19 pandemic. We are committed to increasing quality performances and events across East Dunbartonshire, and Kilmardinny House, with its beautiful Georgian architecture and stunning grounds, is a perfect venue for a period play." Adapted by Tony Palermo and directed by Kevin Janetz, this classical tale is performed as a 1950s radio broadcast. Ebenezer Scrooge, Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim, along with all of Dickens' other memorable characters, take to the airways courtesy of 4 plucky BBC radio actors. Tickets for the event cost £15, £13 concession, and shows will run at 2:30pm and 7:30pm that day. To book your tickets, head to edlc.ticketlight.co.uk. That's edlc.ticketlight.co.uk.
MSP recognises teachers' efforts as recorded by Hunter MacDonald. A Bishopbriggs teacher has been honoured at the Scottish Parliament after his success was highlighted recently in the Herald. We told you previously how Patrick Walker, who teaches geography at Turnbull High School, was selected as one of just 10 inspiring educators in the UK to feature in a special photography exhibition in London this month. The exhibition, entitled The Gallery of Greats, was created by charity, the Teaching Awards Trust, in celebration of its 25th anniversary. Patrick was selected for his ability to empower students in his school through sustainability initiatives, advanced courses and effective revision programmes. Strathkelvin Bearsden MSP Rona Mackay was so impressed after reading the article in the Herald that she put forward a motion at the Scottish Parliament congratulating Patrick on his success. The local SNP MSP said, "Patrick's commitment to his pupils at Turnbull High School is clear. His dedication and inspirational work to encourage and engage students has not only helped to empower them individually, but has boosted pupil achievement to make the geography department at Turnbull a top performer in East Dunbartonshire. Patrick is a glowing example of the valuable impact that teachers have on pupils and the innovations and enthusiasm they bring to the classroom day in and day out. I wish him all the very best for the future." Last-minute agreement ends threat of strikes. Bus disruption in and out of Kirkintilloch has been avoided after union bosses called off proposed strike action. Unite, the union, last week confirmed maintenance engineers at First Glasgow have secured a significant pay deal. The workers emphatically backed the new offer by 92% and will see their hourly wage increase by a minimum of 17.6% by April 2024. The pay deal will initially increase wages from $15.31 to $17.50 and thereafter to a minimum of £18 per hour in April 2024. This equates to a minimum income rise of over £5,000. Proposed strike action was therefore called off. However, unrest among first drivers still remains. Sharon Graham, Unite General Secretary, said, "Unite's engineers at First Bus across Greater Glasgow have secured an excellent new pay deal. We said all along that this is a company which can well afford to make a fair pay offer, and this proved to be the case. We now urge First Bus management to urgently revisit their pay offer to our 1,200 drivers and settle that dispute through negotiations. If they do not, then Unite will fully support our members all the way in their fight for better jobs, pay and conditions." Drivers are involved in a similar pay dispute with First Bus and voted by 99% in support of strike action on a high turnout of 77%. The action is scheduled to start next Friday, November the 24th, continuing till December the 1st, unless there is a breakthrough.
Sport in schools is on the rise. Report by Fraser N. Wilson. Participation in active schools programmes across Eastern Bartonshire is on the rise again following the pandemic. Data published by Scotland's National Agency for Sport, Sport Scotland, shows significantly increased participation events across the past academic year, 2022-23, with over 80,790 visits to active school sessions in Eastern Bartonshire, a rise of 283% on 2021-22. The number of participants, sessions, deliverers and club/school links also increased over the same period. The region's Culture and Leisure Trust Chairman, Councillor Jim Gibbons, was delighted with the news. He told us, "Eastern Bartonshire's Active Schools team continues to support all our primary, secondary and ASN schools to deliver extracurricular sport and physical activity opportunities for their pupils." Key to the increases seen during 2022-23 has been the continued development of volunteers who deliver and support these sessions. This network of volunteers, coupled with the Active Schools team's partnerships with local sports clubs, is helping to provide quality opportunities for our children and young people to stay physically active within their school and local community. Active Schools aim to provide more and higher quality opportunities to take part in sport and physical activity before school, during the lunchtime and after school, and to develop effective pathways between schools and sports clubs in the local community. It is delivered in partnership between Sport Scotland and all 32 local authorities. Chief Executive of Sport Scotland, Forbes Dunlop, said, "For many young people, active schools is where their sporting journey begins, so we are pleased to see participation levels rise again. While we are still not at pre-pandemic levels, we are now starting to see the strong signs of recovery, and we will continue to support our partners in all 32 local authorities to ensure that the progress made over the past 12 months continues across this academic year." Schools across the country understandably prioritise core education following COVID-19, but there has been an undoubted commitment from councils to ensure that sport and physical activity returns to the heart of school life. Teacher is top of class. An Eastern Bartonshire teacher has been named top of his class by the Royal Society of Chemistry. Stuart Naismith was this week named winner of the Society's Excellence Primary Education Prize. That was in recognition of his contributions to chemistry education. As well as the recognition, Stuart also received £3,000, a medal and a certificate. After receiving the prize, He told the Herald, "It is an incredible achievement being recognised for this award by colleagues and education professionals, especially within such a competitive award. As someone without a STEM background prior to becoming a teacher, it is also a bit surreal that I have come this far. It is wonderful that these awards exist to recognise and reward the passion, dedication and hard work of educators, and I am honoured to be receiving this accolade." Based at nearby Gatcorsh Primary School, Stuart is from Eastern Bartonshire and won the prize for developing an entrepreneurial approach to STEM subjects using a variety of media to encourage students to engage with learning. As a primary school teacher, Stuart leads STEM activities within his class while supporting colleagues throughout the school. This involves engaging children in performing experiments or tackling design challenges with different materials. Commenting, Chief Executive of the RSC, Dr. Helen Payne, told us, "Stuart's work demonstrates an outstanding commitment to chemistry education, and it is our honour to celebrate his considerable contribution. The Excellence in Primary Education Prize celebrates inspirational, innovative and dedicated people working in primary, secondary, further education and higher education, including teachers, technicians and more. These prizes recognise a wide range of skills, from curriculum design to effective teaching, and from personal development to working culture. This category includes specific prizes for teams and for those in the early stages of their career. Winners join a prestigious list of past victors in the RSC's prize portfolio, 60 of whom have gone on to win global prizes for their work, including Caroline Bertozzi and John B. Goodenough. Help stop the spread and get vaccinated. Those eligible for flu and COVID-19 jags this winter are being urged to come forward for vaccination. With more than 1 million COVID-19 vaccines administered so far, Public Health Scotland, PHS, is encouraging eligible people to take up the offer of their COVID-19 and flu vaccines as soon as possible. During the cold winter months, when people stay indoors for longer and in larger groups, there is an increase in the number of people experiencing coughs, colds and flu-like illnesses. Vaccination remains the best way to protect yourself against flu and COVID-19. Commenting on the vaccine, Scotland's Chief Medical Officer, Professor Sir Gregor Smith, said, "Flu and COVID-19 can still be serious and can result in hospitalisation. The vaccines are the best protection we have against the viruses, and it's important that those who are eligible get vaccinated as soon as possible. This is especially true for pregnant women and for people with underlying conditions who are at increased risk from the viruses. Anyone who is eligible and who hasn't yet been contacted about their vaccines can book an appointment using the online booking portal or by calling the vaccination helpline. If you are unsure about your eligibility or that of your child, you can use the self-help guide on the NHS Inform. If you have been given an appointment for a time, date or location that doesn't suit, you can also use the online portal to book a more suitable appointment. The flu virus changes every year and protection from the COVID-19 vaccine fades over time, so it's important you get the winter vaccines when offered. I'd like to thank everyone who has already come forward for vaccination, and would urge all those who are eligible and still have to be vaccinated to ensure they are protected ahead of winter. The winter vaccination programme for 2023 is well underway, and NHS Glasgow and Greater Clyde has invited eligible individuals who have missed or haven't made an appointment to receive their vaccines at drop-in clinics running next week. This year's winter vaccination programme is focused on protecting those most vulnerable to flu and COVID-19. In particular, people with underlying health conditions, such as heart conditions or liver disease, that put them at greater risk of severe illness from flu and COVID-19. Pregnant women are strongly recommended to take up the vaccines, as these give them and their babies the best possible protection against serious illness from the viruses. All health and social care workers are eligible for the free flu vaccine, with frontline workers also eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine offers protection against the most likely circulating strains. If you think you may be eligible for either a flu or COVID-19 vaccine this winter, or both, you can check your status using the self-help guide online at www.nhsinform.scot/winter vaccines and book an appointment. So you can book an appointment. You can check your status using the self-help guide online at www.nhsinform.scot/wintervaccines. Community engagement. Community organisations across East Dunbartonshire are being encouraged to highlight issues, ideas and aspirations for their areas. Changes have been made in Scotland to strengthen links between citizens and the planning system, and now the local authority is asking groups to create local place plans, LPP. These can identify local land use issues and prioritise for change, influence a local development plan, LDP, take forward community projects, and bring together community groups to deliver a shared vision. East Dunbartonshire Council, EDC, has already been contacted by a number of community organisations and is providing support to them. Councillor Paul Ferretti, convener of the Council's Place, Neighbourhood and Corporate Assets Committee, told us that work was already taking place with communities who have expressed interest in creating an LPP. He added, "The aim of an LPP is to allow people to have a more direct role in the decisions which influence their area. If you are interested in finding out more, we are happy to provide support and further information. Visit our website for background and frequently asked questions, www.eastdunbarton.gov.uk/LPP. That's www.eastdunbarton.gov.uk/LPP. Registered LPPs will inform the LDP, which sets out a long-term vision for where development should and should not happen. Matters which can be addressed in LPPs include sites for housing, new or retained local employment, and new tourism/community facilities. Sites which support climate change adaptation, such as renewable energy or flood mitigation. Improvements in town/neighbourhood centres, and active and sustainable transport. They can also address retaining, improving and expanding quality open space, community food growing areas and children's play facilities, conservation of the natural/built environment, and protection of the valuable local assets. To find out more about creating an LPP, visit eastdunbarton.gov.uk/LPP. Any expressions of interest must be received by January the 31st, and completed LPPs must be submitted to EDC by June 2025.
Greatest Hits Radio Shake. One of Scotland's most popular commercial radio stations is to stop broadcasting on medium wave. Greatest Hits Radio, which signed Scottish broadcasting legend Ken Bruce from BBC Radio 2 earlier this year, will only be available on digital platforms in most of the country soon. It is one of the most significant steps so far towards the end of traditional medium wave broadcasting. Greatest Hits Radio evolved from local stations including Clyde 2 and Forth 2. The Scottish stations in its network share programmes but still provide separate local news, adverts and information. The exact date of the switchover has still to be announced, but listeners who tune in on medium wave are being warned of the impending change. Owner Bauer Media said there would be no knock-on changes to its FM stations in Scotland, which include Clyde 1 or other digital stations when GHB stops broadcasting on medium wave.
Support this vital lifeline. Funding could run out soon. One of Scotland's largest children's charities is launching a national fundraising drive to secure critical donations for its Urgent Assistance Fund, which is set to run out by Christmas. The Aberlour Children's Charity Fund provides poverty relief to families in crisis where they receive emergency grants, often within 48 hours, to help pay for essentials such as food, clothing, bedding, heating and lighting costs. In the last year, its Urgent Assistance Fund has donated more than £580,000 to more than 6,986 people in critical conditions, including 4,275 children. It is a vital lifeline to thousands of people for items which many of us take for granted. This winter will see the highest cost of living in decades, and in many communities around the country, children are going without the basics required to feed, clothe and heat them. The latest research suggests that almost half of families who apply to Aberlour's Urgent Assistance Fund do not know where their next meal is coming from, and a fifth of families who apply don't have beds for their children. Around 50% of those who apply do not have the funds to purchase their children new clothing adequate for Scottish weather, which could have serious health implications as the colder months set in. The charity's poverty relief appeal launches this week across national TV, radio, press and digital. Those who can are being asked to donate to support families trapped in poverty and struggling to survive the toughest conditions faced by Scots in many years. Sally Ann Kelly, OBE, Aberlour Children's Charity Chief Executive, said, "This winter, as we continue to face the biggest cost of living crisis in recent memory, more and more families are turning to the charity for help. Because of this soaring demand, the emergency fund is going to run out of money by Christmas when it is needed most. Too many children are going without, and for many families, it is a constant worry of where the next meal is coming from and if there will be enough money to heat their home. Aberlour's Urgent Assistance Fund is a lifeline to disadvantaged families all over Scotland, and every penny of cash donated goes directly to those who need it most. If you are in a position to donate, however big or small the amount, we will be infinitely grateful for your support." Aberlour's Urgent Assistance Fund is designed to provide immediate relief to families with children aged 21 and under who are suffering extreme hardship. It is a critical lifeline, with money paid straight to families who apply via a sponsor, health professional, social worker, teacher, third sector organisation, clergy or other professional, to ensure that the lights stay on, homes are warm and their children have the essentials. Donations to Aberlour's Urgent Assistance Fund can be made via www.aberlour.org.uk/poverty relief. That's www.aberlour.org.uk/povertyrelief. Scottish Services. Aberlour Children's Charity is one of the largest children's charities in Scotland. It offers a wide range of services including residential care and fostering, early years disability, recovery and urgent financial assistance to families trapped in poverty. The charity also provides personalised care to families in need, proving that, with the right help, families can overcome even the most challenging circumstances. By helping young people, the charity can also help parents and carers to get back on track. For more details on Aberlour's Urgent Assistance Fund, visit www.aberlour.org.uk/get-help/urgent-assistance-fund. Speed is still a killer on roads in Scotland. Report by Julie Curry. Road deaths and serious injuries caused by drivers speeding rose significantly last year, according to new analysis of government road casualty data by Brake. The statistics show that the number of people killed on Scottish roads rose 21%, from 143 in 2021 to 173 in 2022. Those seriously injured on our roads also rose by 11% in the same period, from 1,760 to 1,945. Brake also carried out a survey asking more than 2,000 drivers about their habits and attitudes to speed. The survey found that 92% of drivers think that speed limits are essential, but more than a third of those surveyed said they sometimes or often drive faster than the speed limit, and 40% think that driving just a little bit over the speed limit doesn't matter. Some 49% of surveyed drivers in Scotland also agreed that the default speed limit on roads in built-up areas should be lowered from 30 mph to 20 mph, supporting changes that are taking place across the UK to make communities safer through the introduction of lower speed limits. Brake is also releasing the survey results at the start of its biggest annual road safety campaign, Road Safety Week, which runs from November the 19th to 25th. The charity is calling on everyone to join a national conversation about speed to raise awareness of the dangers. This year, more than 3,400 schools, communities, organisations and emergency services, together representing more than 70 million people, have signed up to take part. Ross Moorlock, Brake Interim CEO, said, "This year, we have already supported more than 1,500 people affected by road crashes through our National Road Victim Service. Today, 5 people will be killed on our roads, and tomorrow another 5 won't make it home to their families. And so on, until we all say enough and start taking responsibility for each other's safety. The speed we choose to drive at can mean the difference between life and death. Our speed dictates whether we can stop in time to avoid a crash and the force of impact if we can't stop. This Road Safety Week, whoever you are and however you travel, I urge you to join in the conversation and talk about speed." That was a report by Julie Curry.
Vaccine protection. Those eligible for the flu and COVID-19 vaccines this winter are being urged to come forward for vaccination. With more than 1 million COVID-19 vaccines administered so far this winter, Public Health Scotland, PHS, is encouraging eligible people to take up the offer as soon as possible. During the colder winter months when people stay indoors for longer and in larger groups, there is an increase in the number of people experiencing coughs, colds and flu-like illnesses. Dr Nick Finn, PHS Public Health Science Director, said, "Vaccination remains the best way to protect yourself and others, and we're pleased to see so many people coming forward to take up the offer. Those that have not yet received their vaccinations are encouraged to make an appointment to check their local arrangements."
Be prepared for worst of our winter weather. A water expert is calling on the public to get their homes prepared for winter to avoid burst pipes and irreparable damage during Scotland's coldest month. With the Met Office reporting temperatures as low as minus 14 degrees Celsius last winter, Scottish Water has launched its Be Winter Wise campaign, sharing simple steps to save water, money and protect homes. In 2022, the public body supported a surge in burst pipes due to rapid thaw, resulting in millions of pounds worth of damage and an additional 250 million litres of water a day pumped into the network. Brian Leroni, Corporate Affairs Director, said, "If last winter is anything to go by, homeowners, landlords and businesses around the country need to take early action to protect their properties and their pockets this year. Something as simple as insulating pipes can have a positive impact on safeguarding homes and workplaces. Reducing the amount of hot water you use, like taking 2 minutes off your shower, can also help save money. We are hoping the launch of our 6 crucial tips will put Scotland's properties in a better place as the days get considerably colder." Scottish Water's top tips to prepare for sub-zero temperatures. Protect your pipes. When temperatures fall below zero, water in pipes expands as it freezes. It then contracts as the temperature rises, which can cause pipes to crack or burst. Insulating pipes and water tanks is one of the cheapest things that can be done to help protect properties from the cold. Locate your stop valve. If pipes do freeze or burst, you must find and turn off your stop valve. It is often under a sink or near the hot water system. Warm yourself, not the room. Stay cosy with hot water bottles and drinks, but only boil what you need. A full mug boils faster than a full kettle. Save on energy bills. Shorter showers can reduce energy bills and save water. Try taking just 2 minutes off your shower and save up to £130 off your annual energy bill. Avoid blocks and floods. Stovies, soups and stews are great winter warmers, but don't pour fats, oils or grease down the sink. When they cool, they congeal and cause blockages into your pipes, which could lead to flooding. Save water and money. Using a dishwasher or washing machine on its eco setting can save you money on the energy and save water. Washing full loads makes sense too, getting your money's worth out of each cycle. Brian added, water is always worth saving at any time of the year, and making small lifestyle or business changes can do just that. We want everyone to be prepared as possible to minimise winter's impact. We want to work with our customers, whether they're householders or businesses, to ensure we are all ready for the cold weather. Scottish Water will be visiting communities as part of a winter roadshow. Drop-in events will be held in Newton Mearns, Stirling, Rutherglen, Dundee, Aberdeen and Inverness in November and December. Details can be found at www.yourwateryourlife.co.uk/events. For more winter advice, visit www.scottishwater.co.uk/winter. That's www.scottishwater.co.uk/winter. Help make memories to last parents a lifetime. Children's Hospices across Scotland has launched its biggest ever festive fundraising campaign alongside a new TV advert. It has been launched after the charity witnessed a 25% increase in specialist family support requests, on top of its nursing and medical care provision. Chas has recruited extra staff to meet demand, including new specialist social workers and family support workers in Aberdeen and Inverness, plus a dedicated bereavement team to help grieving families and communities across Scotland. However, the charity still needs to raise over £12 million each year to continue to deliver hospice and palliative care for children. The Christmas Memories Appeal aims to give dying children and their families the gift of time to make precious memories at this special time of year and ensure that no one ever has to face the death of their child alone. To raise awareness across Scotland about the important work it does, the charity has created a new TV advert in partnership with Scottish creative agency Leith. The powerful advert depicts a heartbreak faced by families whose children die young and features Chas nurse Jane Carter, who works at Robin House. A new radio advert has also been broadcast nationally in the run-up to Christmas to further raise the profile of the Chas Appeal. Ian McAndrew, Chas Fundraising and Communications Director, said, "The number of children in a life-shortening condition is going up. The last year has been hard for all families, but it is even more so when your child is dying. Chas is determined to help as many families as possible enjoy precious time together filled with happiness. We already support thousands of people across Scotland, including babies and children with life-shortening conditions and their families. Our specialist family support team is witnessing a huge surge in requests. As well as providing specialist end-of-life care, Chas also assists families in other important ways, including offering respite stays, bereavement advice and counselling, hospice at home, and help with managing finances and debt. Our dedicated teams also offer support on how to access care packages and advice on special adaptations for their homes, as well as providing emotional and practical support. The Christmas Memories Appeal marks the biggest campaign we've ever launched to enable us to continue providing vital support to children and families right across Scotland. The breadth of support we offer simply would not be possible without our generous supporters who give love and strength to those in the greatest need. So, we're appealing to the kindness of the Scottish public to donate what they can this Christmas to help us ensure that no one has to face the death of their child alone. To donate to the Christmas Memories Appeal, visit www.chas.org.uk/appeal. That's www.chas.org.uk/APPEAL. Chaz is there at the end of life, supporting children to die with dignity, in accordance with their and their other parents' wishes. It also helps in the difficult days after a child dies and can offer bereavement support in the years ahead. Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald letters page on Wednesday the 22nd of November. Let's talk. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKYHERALD @JNScotland.co.uk and write letters in the subject field. Please keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. Same Burke, different hairs. Sir, the return to David Cameron to frontline politics shows the dearth of talent on the Tory benches. During his first incarnation as Prime Minister, Cameron was an abysmal failure. He was an enthusiastic supporter of austerity, the economically insane ideology on a par with Mao's Great Leap Forward. Cameron claimed austerity would reduce the national debt from £1 trillion to zero within 5 years. Instead, debt doubled to £2 trillion. Wages collapsed at the same rate as Greece. The NHS and council services were starved of cash. The result of this was that food bank use went from 60,000 to 1 million by the time Cameron resigned. Another consequence was that the NHS was woefully unprepared for COVID-19. Cameron decided to solve his party's interminable divisions in Europe by holding a referendum on EU membership. He arrogantly thought he would win and resign so he could duck the consequences. The only reason Cameron is not the worst Prime Minister in history is that he was followed by May, Johnson and Truss. The Tory party is now run by fourth-rate pen pushers who mistake personal ambition for leadership and ability. When he was PM, Cameron and his hatchet man, George Osborne, were the Burke and Hare of Westminster. Today, that moniker belongs to him and Rishi Sunak. History suggests that then, as now, Cameron will make a mess of things. Yours, etc., Alan Hinrichs, by email. SNP should be guided by the King. Sir, it's been revealed that in the last 10 years the SNP government has announced more than 520 strategies and plans. That's one every week. These include 113 strategies on health and social care, and 60 on the Scottish economy, both sectors that continue to underperform. Over 80 strategies have been published on climate change, but, despite these, the Scottish Government still cannot achieve its annual emission targets. On top of the hundreds of strategies, there have been more than 650 consultation papers on every subject you can think of. Instead of strategies and consultations, the SNP government should listen to the late, great Elvis Presley when he sings, "A little less conversation, a little more action." Yours, etc., Jim Houston, address supplied. In the face of doomsday. Sir, with the doomsday clock set at 90 seconds to midnight, we must ask ourselves if the heady cynicism of modern politics is not dangerously self-destructive. All politicians seem to feel the need to be laser focused on the ethos of modern times, which is illiberal and macho. Keir Starmer punishes politicians for making a heartfelt plea for ceasefires in Gaza. Yet, the death rate there is so ghastly that it reminds one of Putin's war on Ukraine's civilians. When we take strict moral stands on international issues, we need strict consistency if we are not to be sneered at by paranoid world leaders. The Prime Minister's attempt to appease the strong and stable in his party with a feeble attempt to continue with the Rwandan plan has a similar laser focus. But, once again, politics is sacrificing a moral high ground which democracies were once famous for. The Ukraine war has always been a dilemma for me. Should we have treated Putin as a reincarnation of Stalin and taken a realistic approach to involvement in Russian spheres of influence? Putin's lot believe that in the face of a Russian defeat, they need to deploy tactical nuclear weapons to subdue Ukraine and her Western allies. Were that to happen, how do we respond? Time to start thinking about that now. Only realism can stop the doomsday clock. Yours, etc., Andrew Vass, by email. Theatrical. Sir, I am shocked by those who have elected to defend Scottish Health Secretary Michael Matheson after his theatrical, cringe-worthy personal statement to the Holyrood Parliament. Have standards of morality in Scotland really sunk so low that lying by a senior government minister until he was found out is now acceptable? Is it really right to blame opposition Scottish Government politicians and our free press for daring to investigate, expose and oppose such behaviour? How can First Minister Humza Yousaf robustly defend Michael Matheson, despite his lies, as a man of honesty and integrity? Could it simply be Humza Yousaf doesn't want to replace his friend as Health Minister because the SNP ranks lack ministerial talent? Yours, etc., Sally Gordon Walker, address supplied. Reader's Charter. This newspaper is built on a tradition of accuracy and fairness, giving you the information you need to understand our world, holding power to account and exposing injustice. Our trusty brand means we are the only place where you can read and participate in honest debates. We are committed to giving a voice to those who struggle to be heard, as well as those whose profession is crafting an argument. Our Reader's Charter spells out our commitment to you. You can read the Charter online at Kirky Herald @jnscotland.co.uk. King supports our river's restoration. King Charles and other major landowners have joined an initiative seeking to kickstart recovery of Scotland's threatened rivers and reverse declines of freshwater species, such as wild Scottish salmon. Pioneering river restoration techniques have been employed at the Balmoral Royal Estate, featured in a new public awareness campaign launched by the Riverwoods Initiative, a Scottish Wildlife Trust-led partnership of 18 leading organisations. A new series of short films and stories, released as part of the launch, showcases the landowners, gamekeepers and fisheries experts who are already carrying out significant restoration work, such as expanding river woodlands, restoring degraded peatlands, and reconnecting watercourses with their natural floodplains. Through the online films and accompanying articles, the campaign aims to inspire landowners to take practical action to restore life and health to Scotland's rivers. It also spotlights growing threats to river systems and their wildlife, including Scotland's rapidly declining wild salmon population. Mike Thornton, project manager, said, "Riverwoods is a wide partnership, and we are always looking to inspire new projects. Through showcasing existing success stories and sharing best practice, we aim to show that restoration is not only possible, but also financially viable and well supported. Trees once lined Scotland's upland rivers before centuries of logging, burning and grazing left the riverbanks denuded and exposed. Robbed of their shade in a warming climate, Scotland's rivers are heating up and holding less dissolved oxygen, to the point where it can be impossible for fish to survive. On Deeside, where wild salmon populations have crashed over recent years, the Balmoral Estate has been carrying out extensive work to restore natural processes on the River Muick, a tributary of the Dee. This includes tree planting and peatland restoration to ensure more shade and cleaner water. Working with the River Dee Trust, the Balmoral team is now replicating an important natural process by inserting dead trees back into the river to recreate complex underwater habitats and diversify flows to benefit wildlife, including spawning fish. Richard Gledson, estate factor, said, "Historically, we were so tidy-minded. If a tree fell into the river, you'd be told to take it out, but times have changed and King Charles was quickly convinced of the plan's potential benefits. His Majesty is keen for us to do as much as we can to improve the environment. If that encourages others to follow our example, then we'd be delighted." The new awareness campaign builds on the award-winning Riverwoods films created by rewilding charity Scotland, The Big Picture. Peter Cairns, executive director who oversaw production of the new films, said, "We hope the experience and testimony of the King and other landowners will boost the appetite for really ambitious nature recovery in and around our rivers. Scotland's rivers and streams cover 125,000 kilometres, more than 12 times its coastline. River woodlands face threats including overgrazing and pollution. RSABI is recruiting 2 new trustees. RSABI, the organisation supporting people in Scottish agriculture, is seeking applications for 2 new trustees to be co-opted onto its board in 2024. Applicants with a background in full-time practical farming and or agricultural policy are particularly welcome to apply. RSABI provides emotional, practical and financial support to people in the Scottish agricultural industry. The charity's board is responsible for governance and strategy and for making sure that the organisation is administered effectively. Jimmy McLean, RSABI chairman, said, "We are looking for 2 individuals who are enthusiastic about the good work RSABI does and who would be happy to volunteer their experience and knowledge to support the effective running of the organisation. The particular skills we are seeking on this occasion are in-depth knowledge of practical farming for one role and someone with strong agricultural policy knowledge for the other position. The co-opted trustees will play a very important role in the RSABI board at a crucial time for the charity in its mission to support people in need in Scottish agriculture. RSABI does not make any payment to its trustees, who kindly provide their time and knowledge free of charge, but travel and other expenses can be provided. The closing date for applications is December the 8th, with interviews on the week commencing January the 8th. The applicant pack can be found at www.rsabi.org.uk. Email your CV and a covering letter explaining why you are interested to recruitment@greenburn.co.uk. That's recruitment@greenburn.co.uk.
Travel by train without breaking bank. ScotRail has launched a new campaign inviting people to experience the magic of Christmas by train without breaking the bank. The national advertising campaign Christmas by Train aims to make ScotRail the first choice for travel over the festive season. From trips to the panto and magic of the markets to great nights out and visiting friends and family, ScotRail can help customers get to the heart of it for less this Christmas. The ScotRail Off-Peak All-Day Fares trial, running until March 2024, means customers will benefit from even cheaper train travel this festive season, with value for money tickets and discounts available throughout the day, including Kids for a Quid tickets and Club 50 discounts. With Kids for a Quid, up to 4 children can travel for £1 return each with every adult, helping families enjoy memory-making trips for less. And those looking to get together over the festive season can make extra savings with group safe tickets extended to even more routes across Scotland. Those travelling in groups of 3, 4 or 5 people can save up to a third on their train travel, available all day every day as part of the Off-Peak All-Day Fares trial. Claire Dickey, ScotRail Interim Commercial Director, said, "With such great value fares available, we want people to make the most of this festive season by choosing ScotRail. Whether it's shopping trips in towns or city centres, or experiencing magical moments at the panto with loved ones, we hope this campaign will inspire more people to choose rail this Christmas and get to the heart of the fun by train."
Not fined to park on the pavement. Report by Julie Curry. A public information campaign is underway to make people aware that they could soon be fined for parking on the pavement. The Transport Scotland Act 2019 bans pavement parking, double parking and parking at dropped curbs, with certain exemptions included by local authorities, for example to ensure safe access for emergency vehicles. From December 11th, local authorities can begin enforcing the law. This means drivers could be fined £100 for these parking behaviours, reduced to £50 if they paid within 14 days. The new campaign includes radio, outdoor and social media advertising, highlighting the dangers pavement parking poses to pavement users, forcing them to take unnecessary risks by moving around the car and onto the road. Minister for Transport Fiona Hislop said, "The message here is clear. Pavement parking is unsafe, unfair and illegal, and you could be fined up to £100 for it. Local authorities can begin to issue fines from December 11th, so this campaign is really important to make sure everyone in Scotland is aware that enforcement is coming. We are highlighting the danger that illegal pavement parking poses to pavement users, in particular those with mobility issues or visual impairments, or parents pushing prams and buggies. This change in legislation is a step towards developing communities that are better able to support active travel, building on the work that is already underway to reduce emissions and meeting our world-leading climate change targets. Scotland is the first of the 4 nations to make pavement parking illegal nationwide. Mike Harrison has been a wheelchair user following a cycling accident 17 years ago. He said, "Vehicles on the pavement can be a severe obstacle. It increases my journey time and I'm often in danger of scratching my hands on a wall or vegetation. Once you're on the road, you're more vulnerable, especially if traffic is coming up behind. The new enforcement will make it clear to people what is required and will make journeys safer." More information can be found at roadsafety.scot. That's roadsafety.scot.
App makes it easy to pay your taxes. Almost 100,000 customers have paid £121 million using the HM Revenue and Customs app since April, taking advantage of the quickest and easiest way to pay their self-assessment tax bill. Between April and September, 97,365 customers used the app to settle their tax bill for the 2022 to 2023 tax year. More than 3 times the £34.6 million paid by 36,467 customers during the same period last year. Customers have been able to pay their bill via the free HMRC app since February 2022, and there is a YouTube video on how to do so. Myrtle Lloyd, HMRC's Customer Services Director, said, "We all have busy lives, so it makes sense that more and more customers are choosing to access their personal tax information and pay their tax bill through the HMRC app. The deadline to complete your tax return for 2022 to 2023 and pay any tax owed is January the 31st, 2024.
November the 22nd. District News. Churches. Kirkintilloch Church of God. At Regent Hall, Regent Street every Wednesday, our coffee corner is open from noon to 2 p.m. for home baking and coffee. Join our friends and neighbours for a chat over coffee. On Sunday, there will be a Zoom service at 6:30 p.m. The speaker this week will be Steve Seddon from Manchester. A warm invitation to everyone who is able to join us on Zoom. Access details can be obtained by emailing hello@regenthall.org. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit our website on www.regenthall.org. The Bible says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight." Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 and 6. Lenzie Old Parish Church. Sunday worship begins in the church at 11 a.m. A creche is available. Come and Sing, the dementia-friendly singing group, meets in the church hall 1:15 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. on Tuesday the 28th of November. The Quilt and Craft group meet every Wednesday 10 a.m. to noon in the session room, ideal for beginners or those with more experience. Scottish Country Dancing every Thursday 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. in the church hall. Come along for fun, fitness and friendship. You will be made very welcome. St James Church, Hilton Road, Bishopbriggs. Rector Reverend Canon Paul Watson, 0141 230 4080. There is a communion service in the chapel on Thursday, November the 23rd at 11 a.m. and 9 a.m. on Sunday, November the 26th. The 10:30 a.m. communion service with hymns on Sunday is in the church. Everyone is welcome to come along to any of these services. Do stay on for tea and coffee and fellowship afterwards. Also, on Sunday, November the 26th, in the evening, there's a journey event at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m, waiting and hoping. There are also other virtual services and groups. For up-to-date and further information, refer to our social media, Facebook, St James L.S. Bishopbriggs, website www.stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. Colston Park Church. As always, a warm welcome awaits you this Sunday at Colston Park Church, led by Reverend Malcolm Cuthbertson, and after the service, feel free to join us for tea, coffee in the hall. On Monday, the Art Club continues from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m, and, as usual, you are very welcome to join us and, if interested, phone Ramsey on 07709 584 680 for more information. The Colston Tea Break, our community drop-in, is on this Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m, and all are welcome to join us for good food, good chat and good company, and it's free. The food bank continues its essential work within the community and is open every Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 4 p.m, and a sincere thanks to all those who assist and organise this worthwhile work. St Mary's Parish Church. The service on Sunday, November the 26th will begin at 11 a.m. as usual and be taken by the Reverend Dr. Ruth Morrison. There will be age-related activities provided in the church halls for our young people. Wednesday welcome will continue on Wednesday, November the 22nd in the Session House from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, when hot drinks and home baking will be available. From 11:30 a.m. till 12 noon, there will be a short service. On Saturday, November the 25th, we will be joining the Christmas craft event taking place in the Barley Bank car park. Opening at 10:30 a.m, there will be a chance for any adventurous teddies to zip wire from the church balcony to the front of the church. There will be a tea room, a table selling crafts and craft activity area for children. At 4 p.m, there will be a carol sing-along, and at 5 p.m, the lights on the tower Christmas tree will be switched on to coincide with the switching on of the town Christmas lights. On Wednesday, December the 6th, we have a special Open Doors Day. The church will be open from 10 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. as usual, but during the lunchtime, there will be live Christmas music. We will also welcome the choir from Learsland Primary School, who will sing for us some of the songs they have learned for Christmas. Kenmure Parish Church. Our Sunday morning worship begins at 11 a.m. You are welcome to join us both in the church and on our YouTube channel. The service on YouTube can be watched live as it is streamed, or later at a time that suits you. You can find our channel by simply searching for Kenmure Bishopbriggs on YouTube. Teas and coffees and a time of fellowship follows the end of the church service. Details of all of our groups that are currently running may be found on our website kenmure-church.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kenmure Parish Church, that's Kanmure for Kenmure Parish Church. If you would like to join our WhatsApp group or receive the Bible studies from ABC, then email us at kenmurechurch@icloud.com. Home Church Scotland, Lammermuir Road, Kirkintilloch, G66 2AB. Home Church Kirkintilloch, Home Church East End, Carmyle, G32 8DP, and online. A church for all ages. I tell you the truth, anyone who believes has eternal life. John chapter 6 verse 47. November 26. Communion 9:30 am. 10 am prayer meeting, followed by refreshments. 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m, worship service, baptisms, children's church and creche, followed by refreshments. A warm welcome awaits you. Home Church Carmyle, 10 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. Minibus leaves home church at 5:45 p.m. for the evening service. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, Bible studies and discussion groups in person and on Zoom. Wednesdays, mothers and babies, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Home groups, 7:15 p.m. at Kirkintilloch and Carmyle. Fridays, craft and coffee, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, open to the community. Youth Fellowship, 7:30 to 9 p.m, a varied programme. Home radio available every day. Saturday, December the 2nd, carol singing in Kirkintilloch Town Centre led by Home Church, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. See Facebook, Instagram and Home Church website for the latest information. Lenzie Union Parish Church. Worship on Sunday, November the 26th is at 11 a.m, read by Reverend Dan Carmichael, including the Guild dedication. There is tea and coffee in the new hall after the service. Young people are also welcome to Lighthouse and Bible class. A live stream of the service is available on YouTube via our website. The meeting place opens for tea and coffee and home baking every Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon in the new hall. Everyone, from the very young to the young at heart, is welcome to attend. We also have a good selection of greetings cards and fair trade goods. Art for seniors is on Monday, November the 27th, 1:30 p.m. in the new hall. Enjoy creating a piece of art under the step-by-step guidance of artist Bev McCluskey. No experience needed. Contact Margaret on 07792 168 826 to book your place. Springfield Cambridge Church. Monday worship on Sunday, November the 26th will be conducted by Reverend Ian Taylor, assisted by our Assistant Minister, Mrs. Julie Harty, in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. The Sunday School will meet in room 2. Tea and coffee will be served in the Cameron Hall after morning worship. Come along and enjoy the fellowship. No collection is taken during the service, so donations can be made by offering them in the offering plates in the Hall of Fellowship as you enter or leave the building. Morning worship is also being live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found on the Springfield Cambridge Church website, www.springfieldcambridge.org.uk, and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and church organisations can also be found. There will be no vestry hour on Wednesday, November the 22nd from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. There will be no short weekly service of worship in the Springfield Chapel on Wednesday, November the 22nd from 11:10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. The City of Glasgow Wind Orchestra are holding their annual Christmas concert in the sanctuary on Friday, December the 8th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets at the door. On Sunday, December the 10th, we will be pleased to receive any jars of grace or donations the congregation has been collecting for our annual appeal for UNICEF. On Sunday, December the 10th, our annual gift Sunday, members of the congregation can donate Tesco gift cards, £5 or £10, or cash donations which will be passed on to the local food bank at Colston Well Park or St Rollox for their work with asylum seekers. Milton of Campsie Parish Church. Thanks for 71 Operation Christmas Child boxes, a magnificent effort. They are now on their way to the district distribution centre. This is House Group Week, all meeting in the Josiah Spears. Wednesday, November the 22nd, 2 p.m. Thursday, November the 24th, 7:15 p.m. Baby and Toddlers is on Monday morning, 2 p.m. Hobbies Club, 7:30 p.m. Badminton Club. This week, Cafe Connect is open on Tuesday morning. All are welcome to come for a blether, a warm drink and a biscuit or scone. There's toys and snacks for the kids and Wi-Fi, and at no charge, just a donation. On Wednesday, November the 22nd at 7 p.m, we meet for a time to pray in the Eric Liddell. Come when you can, leave when you must. Please note the earlier starting time. And at 7:30pm, the fellowship meets in the David Livingston when Kenny Nichol will speak about the Omen Fire Brigade. The BB groups meet on Friday at 6:15pm. On Saturday, November the 25th at 7pm, Father Song Concert. A vocal band of over 30 men from churches around Glasgow who sing, shout and lift up their hands in praise to God. Refreshments. Admission free. Donations to our outreach works with SU Holidays and Go MAD. We meet for worship on Sunday, November the 26th at 11am. We are delighted that Julie, our minister, is now well enough to lead worship but still very much on a phased return. As we look towards Advent, please send a photo of yourself holding a light, any kind. Advance notice. Sunday, December the 3rd, from 4pm to 6pm, there will be a Go MAD Extra, Manger Ma, hot dogs on the menu. 22nd of November, District News General. Father's Songs Concert. Father Song will visit Milton of Campsie Parish Church on Saturday, November the 25th at 7pm. They're a vocal band of over 30 men drawn from a number of different churches in and around Glasgow. They want to sing, to shout and to lift up our hands in praise of God. The group give their services free, so admission is free. Tea and coffee will be provided free. There will, however, be an opportunity for us to make a contribution to the local church's outreach work through SU Holidays and Go MAD. Come along and enjoy this wonderful, uplifting concert. Everyone will be made very welcome. Christmas Knit Fest. The Park Centre Christmas Knit Fest is on Friday, November the 24th, 2pm to 4pm, and on Saturday, November the 25th, 10am to 4pm, in the Park Centre, Kerr Street, Kirkintilloch. Please come along and see the lovely knitted scenes representing groups associated with the centre. Some knitted items for sale. Entrance free. Refreshments £2. Boys are triumphant winners. The winning boys team in the Lindsay After School Club competition, Dads v Lads. Pictured above are the winners, who recorded a 5-4 win thanks to a disputed last-minute penalty, confirmed by VAR. This was much to the delight of the Bias home support, the Mums. Lindsay After School Club meets on Mondays from 4:30pm to 6pm at Lindsay Academy Games Hall. This allows pupils from the local schools to mix socially. The pupils can play small-sided fun football games prior to going to their senior schools. They also have pool and table tennis competitions. It is a great way to meet new friends while enjoying being active. Teen Yoga. Teen Yoga class runs every Friday from 4:15 to 5:15pm at KS Inspiring Health and Wellbeing in Hunters Hill Village, Bishopbriggs. There is an adult class there on a Wednesday evening and a Baby and Me class at the Leisure Dome Sports Centre in Bishopbriggs. All classes have a strong focus on mental health and well-being and finding calm amidst the chaos. Contact me at sallytemple.anyyoga@gmail.com. That's SALLYTEMPLEMANYOGA@gmail.com. All welcome. I've also taught children's yoga since lockdown and I work as an SLA at Holy Trinity Primary in Kirkintilloch. Milgai Music Club. The club's event on Friday, December the 1st is entitled Musical Chairs and is a heartwarming seasonal celebration, a pre-Christmas party, with tasty snacks and drinks. Hosted by the Music Hub, the club's highly successful new venture for amateur musicians. This informal evening is described as a musical mystery tour unfolding through the Cairns Church buildings with plenty of music, including some surprise musical guests, a quiz, and a chance to chat and meet friends. Tickets and further information about both events are available from the club's website www.mulgaimusic.org. Tickets can also be bought in person from the Honeybee Cafe, Station Road, and at the venue on the night. Torrens Community Hall Meeting. Caldwell Halls Trust will hold the annual general meeting in Caldwell Halls, 16 Campsie Road, Torrens, on Tuesday, November the 28th at 7:30pm. All welcome. Nominations to the Management Committee, welcome on the night or in advance in writing, to the Secretary, Caldwell Halls, 16 Campsie Road, Torrens, G64, 4BM, caldwellhalls.org at gmail.com. That's CALDWELLHALLS.org @gmail.com. New members and volunteers always welcome. Heart of the Matter. Empowering Patients and Their Families. Column by Dr. Frank Dunn. I still retain happy memories of my medical career. Many things have changed since I hung up my stethoscope. Some of these changes are for the better, some are debatable, and some, I fear, compromise patient care. I say this fully expecting a shrug of the shoulders and a cry of, "Move on, old fella." I too remember the song "Things Ain't What They Used to Be." The apparent loss of the concept of a named consultant for each patient has created a challenge in delivering optimum and continuity of care. It is only a few years since the UK Academy of Royal Colleges stated unequivocally that every hospital patient should have their own named consultant. It meant that every patient were clear in regard to a point of contact should they require further information. I believe the UK Academy of Royal Colleges were spot on in their support for their named consultant, and it is a source of regret that this initiative seems to have fallen away. There are a number of reasons for dilution of the named consultant concept, including shortage of doctors, different ways of delivering care, and the movement towards more rotas. I remember at times during my career being a bit miffed when patients and their relatives asked for a second opinion, but then I realised that they were entitled to do this, and, at times, it could be beneficial for both the patient and me. This is the basis for Martha's Rule, which gives patients the right to seek a second opinion within the same hospital if they feel that progress is not being made. Martha was a young girl who died of septicemia. Concerns were raised by Martha's parents were not acted upon, and hence the proposal to devise Martha's Rule. I am fully supportive of this. On the positive side, multidisciplinary meetings are key to sharing experience and finding the best way forward. I believe that patients and relatives need to get away from the "I don't want to bother the doctor because they are too busy" approach. This may be well intentioned, but the doctors are there to support and advise. Patients are entitled to ask for meetings to clarify issues, and in my view, this is a must. Patients often worry, wrongly, that they will be labelled a nuisance if they request a meeting. The idea that you just do with what the doctor says, without seeking clarification, should be consigned to the history books. That was Heart of the Matter by Dr. Frank Dunn.
Talent is not always enough. An article written by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. Kevin McGoldrick believes he had enough talent to make it at the highest level, but lacked the right mentality. Dundee beat off competition from the likes of Hearts and St Mirren to sign a teenage McGoldrick on an S form. McGoldrick told the Pure Boz football podcast, "I played with my uncle's team, the Kirky Miners, but it only went up to under 13s. So I went to Lenzie YC, and within probably a month I was training with Dundee, Hearts and St Mirren. I had choices, but Dundee showed the biggest interest. It was Jockey Scott and Archie Knox, who put the fear of God into you, but were amazing coaches and made the effort to actually come to my mum and dad's house to sign me. I was never going to be a doctor or lawyer, and turned full-time at 16. I went up to Dundee, and part of why I never made it had maybe nothing to do with my ability. It was in my head. I was a mummy's boy. I've got 2 older sisters, so I was spoiled rotten. I was an hour up the road in Dundee, and I was homesick. I had just turned 16, but mentally I was 12, so I managed to get released. Despite things not working out at Dens Park, McGoldrick still attracted attention from Sheffield United and Leicester City, but once again refused to grab the opportunity presented to him. He said the type of person I was couldn't say no. I couldn't be an hour away in Dundee, but 5 weeks later I was 5 hours away in Leicester and then Sheffield. I remember when Leicester offered me a contract, the manager, David Pleat, phoned my mum to say he has heard good things from youth coaches and wanted to sign me. And I'm saying I don't want to go. I was weak mentally. I was an adult, but I was immature. You get boys who say, I just need that opportunity. I'm the opposite. I got so many opportunities, and if I was to write a book, it would be called The Nearly Man. An example of that immaturity, and some will go, what an idiot. I was playing in the amateurs and I scored twice and set up another one before half-time. At half-time, I went in and kidded on I was feeling sick, just so I wouldn't ruin it in the second half. When I grew up, there was the Woodley Hospital, but apart from that there was no talk of mental health. It's such a big thing in life and football now, and I look back and think there must have been something wrong with me. McGoldrick would eventually go on to play for Queen's Park and East Stirlingshire in the lower reaches of the senior game. And while he may have eventually climbed up the ladder, a knee injury at the age of 18 would hobble him literally and figuratively. He said, I had constant knee problems and never played a full season. I got an opportunity at the end of May, and when pre-season started on June 10th, I was in. I walk like a cripple now because I never listened to the experts. In my coaching, when I tell a boy to do something, it is not because I know best. It is hoping they learn from where I went wrong. I think you find your level, my level, could have been greater. It wasn't anyone's fault. It was my fault. But it is what it is. I've not got regrets. I've got a brilliant boy, Owen, and I wouldn't have met my wife if my career had gone down another path, and I hadn't stayed in Kirkintilloch. Your life pans out the way it was meant to pan out. To watch the full interview, find the Pure Boz, that's Purebaws, the football podcast channel on YouTube. That article was written by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. Clan continue good form with second win in a row. A second period Nate Callan winner made the difference as Glasgow Clan, sponsored by Asprey Glasgow West, secured a 4-point weekend with a slender victory at Sheffield Steelers. It was a terrific result against a team who were riding high at the top of the Elite League table going into the game. Clan continued their winning form from Friday's game and showed straight away they were up for the challenge, as they went toe-to-toe with Aaron Fox's side. The visitors opened the scoring after 12 minutes when Dominic Cormier set up Miko Jusola, who took his chance from the centre just outside the crease. It took the Clan a couple of minutes to get back on level terms when they hit the Steelers on the break, after Daniel Campini had been denied on the away goal. The play quickly moved down the other end, where Jordan Cowney executed a backhanded finish past Steelers netminder Matthew Greenfield, and it was honours even. The night was becoming a memorable one for Glasgow netminder Jake Keeley, who was stopping and dealing with everything that was coming near him in his crease. Clan took the lead in the second period when Nate Callan arrived late to fire an effort on goal, which was initially saved by Greenfield, only for Callan to finish off his own rebound. Steelers tried to break down the visiting defence, and Keeley in particular was having none of it, increasing the frustrations of Aaron Fox's side. A late surge saw Kevin Tansley have 2 chances on goal with seconds remaining, where a scramble around the net ensued. Glasgow face Manchester Storm this Sunday as the Clan welcome the visitors to Braehead. They will travel north following an immersive 4-2 home win over defending champions Belfast Giants on Sunday night. Storm sit 3 places above the Clan in 3rd place in the standings, but the teams are separated by just 2 points. Glasgow are level on points with Nottingham Panthers above them on goal difference, and Fife Flyers, who are below.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels at Tune Review and to tell your friends about our service.